Dave Smith is the new coach of the RPI men's hockey team. Press conference yesterday, and Dr. McElroy and company in the house. And we welcome Dave Smith to our show here on Big Board Sports on this Friday morning. Coach Smith, good morning.
Good morning. Thank you for having me on.
Thank you, Coach. I think I talked to you earlier in the week. Just somebody gave me your cell phone number, and I just abruptly give you a quick call before you even had the job. But now that you do have it, we appreciate a few minutes. How does it feel being the new head coach of the RPI men's hockey program?
It's a great day. It feels terrific. My family and I are going through some orientation and campus tour to stuff today, and spending some time with the people here, and it feels outstanding.
What attracted you to RPI, Dave? I mean, 12 years as the head coach at Canisius and doing some really good things there, growing that program, and you used that word a lot in your press conference yesterday, growing the program. But what attracted you to RPI to leave Canisius to come here?
Yeah, we had built something special at Canisius over my 12 years, and when this opportunity came up, it was about the history, the tradition, the strength of the ECAC as a league, and their history. Obviously, 2 of the last 4 national champs have come from this league. But the passion from the RPI hockey community was very, very high. So when you look at things like the Big Red Freakout and the hockey line and the passion from the alums, those are special things. And I believe that we can continue to use the word grow and build, and we can really climb to a level at RPI that has been reached before. I'm standing in the rink right now looking at the national championship banners, and while right now that feels like a lofty goal, those expectations should be had from schools in the ECAC and a school like RPI.
Dave, Chris Honorato here with Roger. Congratulations on the job. When you first meet with a team that had been recruited and coached by another guy, what is your message to those players?
We did. It was great. We had a meeting last night with them, and they're young guys, but they're intelligent guys, and a lot of them are worried. A lot of them are scared, and really just to let them know that we're on this journey together. And I would like to gather as much information from them and learn from them about their goals and their standards and their expectations as they can learn from me. So together we'll embark on this journey. I asked them, I said, hey, continue to be great citizens, continue to achieve at a high level academically, and step by step we'll start the process together here to accomplish what they want. I had asked them how good they thought they could be as a hockey team. I asked them that on the interview process, and the answers that I got were they really believe in the guys in the locker room there now. And so together we've got to find a way to get success.
Dave Smith is the new hockey coach, men's hockey coach at RPI, replacing Seth Appert. He joins us here on Big Board Sports. Dave, how much work is there to do? I mean, when you look at this team and you do some background on the players that you have, are you at rock bottom? Do you have enough talent to be successful right out of the gate? Where do you stand with all of that?
I do believe there's some really interesting statistics from last year. The RPI had the #1 power play team in the ECAC, which is a terrific statistic. They weren't as strong on the defensive end. So right away you can look at those stats and say there's some work to do there. Recruiting for college hockey, it's a small world. So most of these players I am familiar with, but I'm not dialed into the nuances that make them great or some buttons to push that help them get great. So I've got to learn a lot more about the finer details. Right now, one swipe of the brush across, I can see that there's talent. I can see that there's positive characters and intelligent people. But I got to dig way deeper. And it's not, in my opinion, a blow up this situation. I believe there's talent here, but I can't get to all the levels necessary right now. I just don't have enough information to know if we've got 4 lines of depth and how many defensemen do we have that have the ability to play the way I want to play, and how is the goaltending. So I've got one swipe of the brush. I probably need 8 or 9 to get all of the information necessary to answer that question completely.
Dave, I would take it. The fan base here is probably a little bit bigger than the fan base that you had at Canisius. Even last several years when the win-loss record has not been great, and that might be an understatement, RPI still drew over 3,000 fans per game at the RPI Fieldhouse. So you are coming into a program that has a very hungry fan base. How do you feel about that?
I love it. Pressure is a privilege, and the pressure that comes from having the job as head coach at RPI Hockey is a privilege for me, and it's a privilege for these players to feel that pressure. And I love it. I mean, with that passion comes a lot of expectations. With that passion comes a lot of support. So we can bring recruits to campus. We can show them the special bond that is between the community, the school, and the hockey program, and we can do great things with it. So, with enough pressure, you make diamonds. So if we keep that pressure on, I think it can be a great thing.
Hey, Dave, where have you been? Where have you had time to go out and kind of venture or eat, or what is your 48-hour window here in the Capital Region been like? What have you been able to explore so far? Anything?
We took a drive. My wife and I took a drive around some of the communities. We took a drive downtown, saw the Capitol, and other than that, it's really been eat and work. For me, this is a lifestyle, and I think most people in sports, it's a lifestyle. It's not a job. So it's been 8 hours of 2 hours of press conference. Some exchanging pleasantries here and there, and then the rest has really been work, and that's the way we wanted. So we're ready to dig in, but we are excited. I know that my daughter is going to come up here. I've got two daughters, one in college at Manhattanville and one in college at Nazareth, and one of them is going to get up here, I think, later today and look around with my wife. But our family is excited to move to this region once we take care of business back in Buffalo. And we will have a chance to explore a lot more. Looking forward to that.
Well, I'll tell you one thing. A good friend of mine, and you know him pretty well, too, is Dan Phrygian, former RPI coach. I'm sure you'll sit down and pick his brain a little bit. But the Phrygian man's good people, and I know you know Dan Phrygian a little bit. Yeah,
it was great to have Phryg come to the press conference. And, I asked him to come. My relationship with former RPI coaches, not only Phryg. I worked under Buddy Powers. I talked to Coach Powers yesterday as well. I worked for Rick Godkin, who was an assistant here in the late 80s. Obviously, I know Seth. And so I've been well aware of the history and tradition. And to have a guy like Phryg be able to sit down and we can have a soda and talk RPI hockey and talk about the community is a valuable asset. Aside from being a good friend and such a great person.
So you're actually having a soda with Phryg and not a beer?
And not pop. From Western New York, Coach, I was expecting pop.
Well, I don't know what they call it down here, guys. I've never called it a soda. I felt like I was in soda country, but it's pop to me.
Well, listen, we wish you nothing but the best of luck. You're also working with Dr. Lee McElroy, and I had a chance to work with Dr. McElroy for 16 years over at the University of Albany. I do play-by-play football, basketball for UA, so I'm familiar with how he does business, and you'll work for a great guy in Dr. Lee McElroy.
Yeah, the process of getting this job, I believe, exposes schools' vulnerabilities or strengths. And in this case, Dr. McElroy's people skills really came out. The level of thoroughness across all platforms really came out. And I believe they know what they're getting from Dave Smith on paper. And it's my job now to walk the walk when I get here as I am on campus today. And I will have no bigger advocate. I have no bigger advocate right now than Dr. McElroy and Dr. Jackson. And I'm going to lean on his connections in the Capital Region here to help build the brand of our RPI hockey again.
Dave, again, thanks for a few minutes. Congratulations on the becoming the head coach of the men's hockey program, and we'll certainly be in touch down the road.
Thanks, guys. Appreciate the time.